get it rocking. What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Let me get everything situated. What's up, guys? I'll read everyone's comment and chat right now. Good morning, George, Drina, Z, Luxy. Thank you, Greg. All right, guys. Let's get right into it. Let me make sure everything's right here. Let's get everything set. It's down. Let's hopefully catch a nice little Anki banger. Again, yesterday was a no trade day, guys. That's fine. But we're going to go over yesterday. What's up, Michael? We're going to go over yesterday. And the reason I want to go over yesterday is because I told you guys the reason I was not looking to place any trades. Can you guys hear me? I think you guys can hear me. Should. Yes, thank you, Drina. So yesterday, again, I was initially looking for buys on DAX, right? And we did not end up seeing our buying opportunity. Yeah, wait. Okay, yeah. So I was originally looking for buys as London opened, maybe down into here, but we ended up just tanking off. But I told you guys I was not interested in sells because at the end of the day, from a higher time frame standpoint, we were bullish. And I really take that higher time frame into consideration. And again, it goes to show that we did end up selling off momentarily just to come right back up and continue within that overall bullish bias. And that's where I'm kind of looking for some buys today. What's up, Rare? It has been a minute. How you been? How much per tick on M and Q? Hold on. All right. So how much per tick? It is. All right, so M and Q, I believe, is, what was it? Oh my gosh, I'm brain farting here. I'm brain farting. Wow. Why am I forgetting? What is it, 50 cents? Yeah. 50 cents per tick, $2 per point. Yeah, there it is. Sorry. Here to trade with you tonight. Maybe liquid spread like me today. Hopefully. What's up, Jocko? It's been a while. So going back to DAX, again, there's a reason I didn't take sells, just because, again, the higher time frames did call for buys. Same thing for UK 100. Again, UK 100 did end up selling off, and I did tell you guys we could have entered, but the reason I didn't was because overall the higher time frames still were bullish, and I just did not like the fact that we were still bullish. We could have taken some sells down within here. I told you guys I was going to stay out because I was just thinking about it way too long. And again, I'm glad I didn't take those sells because we would have taken an unnecessary loss, guys. Again, there's a reason for my no trade days. What's up, Blue Dream? Because of the fact that, again, if price does not look good, or if my setups aren't of quality, I'm not going to take it, right? It's quality over quantity. Jake, I believe it's 10 seconds. I don't think we have one. I think the 10-second is for instant funded. But even if it is 10 seconds, guys, you should have no problem with that. Again, like if you're in a trade for less than 10 seconds, I mean, you probably shouldn't be in that trade. I am looking majority at the 5-minute for UK 100 and DAX, but we're also trading NQ. But let me go over my bias for today. So the bias for today, NQ, I do expect it to come and take these highs. So with that being said, I'm going to be looking for a buying opportunity. And I like the 4-hour being that we have no imbalance sitting down below. So I do think if we do see a nice reaction within this 5-minute leg here, I want to see price come down into this equilibrium. And if we do see price react higher, I could see us taking some buys at a break of this high. The one thing I don't like about this trade is the fact that those highs that we're targeting are going to happen really, really fast. And I like having targets. Like I like having targets for my 101, for my 102. But at this point, like we are just basically targeting the abyss. Like we're just trading into the abyss. Like there's nothing up here. These are all-time highs. But at the end of the day, if price is going to go higher, it's going to go higher. So I'm obviously going to trade with that. But that's if we end up getting that reaction and seeing price break those highs. And again, the reason I'd like to see a break of the highs and I don't want to just enter at the 50% is just because we saw this break of structure happen before London Open. If we would have had it, or if we wait for London Open, see a break of structure and see another pullback, then maybe I could enter at the 50%. But granted, we have a setup, we'll go from there. Thanks, Nick, for the broken. Let's go, bro. Israel, you're killing it. There'll definitely be more, bro. Just stay disciplined, keep trading. You'll be good. What do you think about NQ longs? I'll go over that right now. Let me just go over DAX. So as far as DAX, I do like DAX as well, but I need to see a pullback. So again, I did not end up taking sells or any position yesterday. But again, the higher time frames is calling for us to take some buys, right? We had to break a structure here. We had a pullback. We had an attempt to break structure. We kind of just wicked it. And again, this could have been a reason for price selling off here. But at the end of the day, we are still bullish, right? So we are still bullish within the swing leg. And now we're seeing price break this structure on the 15-minute here. And I like these buys. I don't need to see a pullback, actually, now that I look at it. Because if we see from this low to this high, we did have that pullback into equilibrium. And we are now kind of ranging here. But if we ultimately see the break of this high during London Open, I'm going to shoot here. Stops would obviously be right below these lows where we last had that rejection. And I'd be going for a nice little 1 to 2. Okay, obviously, this is a perfect example of why I like to have targets, because unlike UK 100 where we're targeting to the BIS, so we may end up not taking UK 100 today. And if it goes higher, right? But the reason I like DAX a little bit more is because we actually have targets. We have points of liquidity here. We have these highs that we can use as liquidity. We know that we have targets, okay? So we know that price actually will end up, I can't say for sure coming up, but it definitely can. Let's go over NQ now. So NQ longs, let's see. It's honestly kind of looking ugly right now. And the reason I say it's looking ugly is because within the last couple of days since last week, we've just been ranging, guys. Like, we don't want to go higher. We don't want to go lower. We're just kind of within this range, and that's a little bit ugly. Granted, we did end up making and breaking this high here within this hour structure. So we are technically bullish, but we've just been ranging, and it's just ugly. So I can't expect price to potentially at some point break out of these highs. So I would say I'm more bullish than anything. But let's go down to the lower time frames, or let's just see based off the hourly what I can see. So first things first, the last couple hours have been a little bit bearish, but overall, I'm not seeing the biggest bearish candles, just not a lot of volume within these candles. So I can't say for sure that I'm going to be bearish tonight. But as we go down to the 5-minute to look for structure, we are still within this 5-minute structure here. Okay, so depending on how the 1 minute reacts, I'm still going to follow that 5-minute trend. Okay, I'm still going to follow that 5-minute trend. Yes, the 1 minute is definitely bearish right now as far as seeing this internal leg break to the downside. We could just see price continue lower. But ultimately, I think buys are a go here. I think it's a higher probability just due to the fact that we are kind of exhausted here within this price within the last couple hours. We're not really wanting to make any lows. We're just having a lot of bottom wicks. Yes, we're having a lot of top wicks, and that could ultimately mean a no trade night. Okay, again, like I know we have had a couple no trade days for NQ, but at the end of the day, guys, I'm not going to go and shoot for something that is just not worth it. I really am not. So I honestly would like to see price maybe come up, break these highs, and then we can look for a 1 minute retracement and a continuation within that 1 minute. But ultimately, it's just not looking the best right now on NQ. Like I can full on say that just based off how I'm looking at it. Just looks like we could get caught in a consolidation, and that's what I'm not. I don't want to look. I don't want that. Okay, I would have rather seen price break out of these highs, confirm that we are continuing bullish. But the fact of the matter is we are still bullish based off this 1 minute or this 1 hour break of structure last week. Therefore, I'm going to look to continue with that overall bear structure. I doubt price is going to pull back just because we have been holding within this 15-minute and 5-minute bullish trend here. So we'll end up seeing what happens. Again, price could end up reacting bearish. And if it does, like if we do end up seeing price react bearish, I guess we could end up taking some type of sell down into these lows. But ultimately, it's just not aligning. Okay, I would want to see price like break this low down here for me to even consider sells, and that's a pretty long way to go. Okay, because if we did end up taking sells on the 1 minute, price may not even sell that far and then continue back within that bullish bias, and that's definitely what I don't want to see happen. But again, like sells I guess could play out if price did want to break these lows, but ultimately gotta play with structure. Can I start doing this with a couple $100 like this? What's a tax like this? I don't know what you mean by that last question, Rainmaker. If you sell within the year, it's like 27%. If you have any questions about that, I really suggest like looking it up. I don't really answer questions like that. And plus, I think you need to reword it. I'm not getting it too much. But to answer your first question, yes, you can start doing this with a couple $100. You can trade on a Forex broker. Like, you know, you can trade NASDAQ on a Forex broker. You can also trade UK 100 and DAX. But I really do like DAX today, guys. So Def Dukio bias. Shooting highs for DAX, yeah. Yeah, DAX just broke highs. I do think we could see a nice little move. Ultimately, like we could shoot before the break of this high. Okay, we could technically, since we are breaking this high, if we see like a nice little pullback, even then I honestly would just prefer, see, the reason I would prefer a little bit of a sooner entry is just because we have a really big stop here, guys. This is a pretty big stop for DAX. Nonetheless, I do think if price shot, we will end up getting some yeah, like if you're talking about NAS being horrible looking, it doesn't look the best, guys. Like this is just conditions where you want to kind of, I don't want to say stay out of the market. Again, like if we do see price start expanding higher, then yes, I am going to look for that 1 minute setup. As long as we see that 1 minute leg break these highs up here, then I will look for something. Even then, like this last 1 minute structure is horrible. What the fuck? Wow. We'd have to wait for a break of this high, technically. But now that we're breaking this high, like we could take a sooner entry. It would just be like this. But ultimately, I'd have to see that pullback first. I'd have to see that pullback. If we ended up pulling back into 50% and then coming right back up higher, I do think we can take these a little bit sooner with probably a little bit or quite a bit smaller stop loss. But if price just ends up ripping, I'm still going to take a break of these highs. My stop loss will just be pretty big here, guys. But I am fine with that. I am fine with that just because we know if price is going to continue bullish, we are most likely going to come up and purge these highs up here and continue within the overall bullish trend. And again, like we're bullish within the hourly and we're also bullish within the daily. Like you guys got to look at the daily too. We are bullish here in the last or the next area I expect price to take is these highs as well. So we know we have the targets to take this. It's just a matter of where we're going to enter. As far as UK 100, looks like we are going to come lower. We have facilitate the pullback, so we definitely can rip up here. I'm just kind of not really wanting to trade UK 100 just because, again, like I don't like targeting nothing. We literally have no targets, none whatsoever. This would be our only target, and it comes very soon. Is it a 1 to 2 for DAX? Yeah. So my management plan with DAX, Michael, is once we hit 1 to 1, I will move to break even. And my tax at every sell. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not like as you think. I'd say do some research too to like actually like know the ins and outs, but I don't really want to explain everything right here. Thunder, what market is this for? Is that for NASDAQ? All right, guys, we have a couple minutes to open. Let's see what happens. And then we'll chop it up some more once we either get in a trade or we're waiting for a trade. Again, I'm just looking for a break of this high. If we do get a break of that high, I'm going to enter. And the stops are going to be big because of the fact that price can break this high and have a pullback within that new bullish leg that we're creating. Ultimately, it'd be better to see price pull back within here and then go higher because we can take a little bit of a small entry. Something out of syllabus. What market is that for, Thunder? You can know it's coming lower. NASDAQ still kind of doing its thing. I'm mainly looking at DAX right now, guys. We'll see what happens here. Again, I'd prefer to see price pull back here within this internal bullish leg. And then from there, we could definitely move our stop a little bit sooner, and our entry a bit sooner, and our stop to definitely be shorter. But I am very bullish here. We're getting that pre-sell off. Didn't hit equilibrium. UK 100 could come up, guys. I just really don't like the fact that we'd be targeting the abyss. If we don't hit equilibrium and just start ripping up, guys, my entry's still going to stay the same as far as up here. Yes, we could be definitely getting in sooner, but ultimately I'd only get in sooner if we confirm with rebalancing or facilitating the pullback of this internal structure like we just did. So now our entry can be at a break of these highs, guys. Our stops just depend on where the last structural low is within this sell off here. What's up, Alvin? You're all good. No, I'm not in buys yet, guys. I'll tell you guys when I'm in buys. I'll be in buys at a break of this high here, guys. So we can remove that. UK 100 is coming higher. It does look good for buys, guys. I don't think I'm going to enter UK 100, guys. Even though we can 100% just keep fucking ripping, I just hate targeting nothing. I think we're better off just staying with DAX. Happy birthday, Alvin. Sadly, guys, DAX or JR40 and UK 100 is not on legacy. That's why I'm also trading UK 100, which looks like we are now coming up on UK 100, which is quite nice. Again, if we break those high, guys, I am in. Stops at the lows. If we break these highs, I'm going to shoot here. Guys, sadly, DAX is not in offered on legacy, but we are still looking at NQ. So if you guys are trading legacy, you can definitely trade NQ with me. What I'm waiting for is a break of this high, and then we'll wait for a pullback and then a continuation. So it looks like we are going to break these highs, which is quite nice. So that confirms that we are probably going to go bullish today. UK 100 is ripping. I don't think I'm going to enter, guys. I don't think I'm going to enter. Ultimately, I could end up regretting it. But at the end of the day, I don't really regret anything. Just because, again, if price does end up fly and takes and goes into our TPs, I trade DAX on my live broker. But going back to this, if we do end up coming up and coming into our TPs where our TPs would have been, then I'll just use this as data, guys, because again, I don't want to say I don't have a lot of data of targeting the abyss, but in a lot of cases, I like having setups where my TPs do have targets, or we do have liquidity, or we're targeting some type of higher high, lower low, something along those lines. And this is our only target, and we're about to take that here. And ultimately, we could end up taking that high and then just flipping, right? I'd rather just take DAX here. DAX looks pretty good as long as we get that break here. We had a pullback, looking for that break and looking for that continuation higher, which means our stop loss don't have to be this big. Our stop loss is, first TP is here, 101. But I'm not in yet, guys. UK 100 is ripping. Again, I'm just going to mark this up just to see. Again, our first TP would be all the way up here, which again, could get hit. But we'll see. I think DAX looks good overall. We did end up breaking these highs, guys, so I could be looking for something on NQ. What I need to see is I need to see price pull back and react off one of these points. Honestly, we have a nice little order block here. So if we see price come back, react off the order block and equilibrium, I'm going to be shooting for buys here. Oh, please don't be. Oh my God, I hate when it resets. We'll just be ready. UK 100 is reacting very negatively. Again, I did not get in this, guys, but it's already acting really negatively after taking these highs here. And again, that doesn't mean price can't continue to push up, But a reason I didn't take this is because of the fact that we could just be coming up, taking this liquidity, and then we could just end up selling back off. One thing you got to keep in mind too is from a daily standpoint, we are very overbought. Very overbought. And at some point, we are going to see an extended pullback. It doesn't have to happen today. It doesn't have to happen this week. But I do think at some point it will happen. All right, guys, I'm in DAX. Let's see what happens, guys. In DAX buys here. Going for that nice little 101. Once we hit 101, I'm moving to break even. Let me send this in my Discord. Give me a second. Let me make sure I'm in. All right, I'm in. Fire, guys. We're running really good now. Again, once we hit 101, moving to break even, going to take half my profits off, and then just let the rest run into 1 and 2. I love that, Rain. Love that for you. Yeah, bro. Come in here and learn. That's what they're for. Is your account blown, Antony? Naz is just flying, guys. Naz is just flying. That means our leg is getting stretched out. Good close on DAX though, guys. I like that 5-minute close. It shows very, very good signs for us as far as seeing that pullback, seeing that push, and then hopefully we do get a 101 because at that point, that's a winning day for me. I take half of my position off and I just let the rest 1 or 1 to 2. UK 100 is still going higher. And again, like the bias for today was buys. But again, there was just, this was a quality trade. Antone, comment or make a ticket real quick and my boy Greg will help you out. That's an ugly retracement after taking these highs though. But granted, we are bullish within the structure. I do think price will just end up coming right past this. So not the reaction I wanted, but granted, we're in it until we're not. Let's see how far we are from 101. And again, guys, even though I didn't take UK 100, and like I was just saying, this is a quality trade. UK 100 was a quality setup. Other than, is this was at what? Other than, yeah, stops would have been massive on UK 100, especially for UK 100. I don't like this reaction on DAX, but again, we're fine. Ugly reaction. But this is a quality trade for me. Plus, we could see the 1-minute pullback here within this new 1-minute leg and then continue higher. If not, then we'll take the loss like a champ. But again, like I've done, if you guys been here the entire month, we've done really good for DAX and UK 100. So even if we do take this loss, we're going to be up very good for the end of this month. We're coming into the end of the month. So even if I lose the rest of these days, which granted, some days are going to be no trade days. Some days, you know, we will end up catching a win. We're still going to be solid for the week. I mean, not even the week, the month, sorry. Contact the ticket and see if they can fix things. They should be able to. This is a horrible reaction, guys. I hate this reaction. This could be a quick loss. I can't lie to you guys. Dummy, horrible reaction. Wow. It's ugly. UK 100's still going higher, but granted, that always sucks. I'm still in this, guys. In it until it hits stop loss. Again, stops are a little bit below these lows. If it hits stop, I'm out. If it doesn't, great. But granted, at this point, this was a horrible reaction after we had that initial push. Honestly, ugly as fuck. But we could have just been taking these highs and going lower. One thing that I could say is we are within like this bearish internal leg. We didn't even hit equilibrium yet. So that's very surprising to me. I thought we would have hit equilibrium here, but we didn't. Price is looking bearish, guys. I think we're going to end up taking a loss here, guys. That sucks. Stayed out. That's fine. Glad you stayed out. Ended up taking a loss here, guys. Yeah, I think I'm out. I mean, I'm still in. My stops are a little bit below those lows. Still in, but about to get taken out unless price just really just does a fucking 180. But I really doubt that. It always sucks. Like sometimes the trades we don't take end up winning. I'm not saying UK 100 is going to win, but it definitely could. But wow, what a reaction. NQ retracing. Okay, we still got a chance on NQ. Horrible. I mean, I'm still in, guys, but with that reaction, guys, honestly, I do think price is going to take us out. It looks like we got treated as liquidity. Price could have just came up, treated us as liquidity, and sold off. But granted, I have to follow my management plan. Like, we weren't near 101. I only go to break even once I hit 101. That's the only exception, guys. I'd rather take that loss than break my rules. But we're still in. We'll see what happens. It would honestly be very strange to see price come back up from here. It definitely can. Like, it still has opportunity being that we are bullish, but it's a horrible reaction. Seems like it just grabbed liquidity. Yeah, true. It kind of does seem like that, but we'll see. Again, if we get it set up on NQ, we're going to give NQ a shot, guys. All it needs to do is we need to see a nice reaction at either equilibrium or 71%, which, let's turn on 71%. But I'm kind of going to just consider DAX. I mean, I'm still in DAX, like I said, but I think I might just consider it a loss. I messaged someone about that, Antone. Lost 140 on that trade. I mean, I'm still in, guys. Like, there's a reason I put my stops below the lows. It was like kind of like right here. Did not get taken out. Literally missed it by a hair. I genuinely would be shocked if price came back up here. But it definitely can. That's why I don't have set stops on DAX or UK 100. But as far as UK 100, we are coming higher. But again, like, even if we do end up coming higher, guys, I still don't mind not taking this trade just because of the fact that we had no targets. I do want to get some more data on that. I do have a decent amount of data on, you know, shooting into the abyss is what I call it. But it's never been my cup of tea. Like, it's never been something that I'm very fond of, just because I think having targets is very key. Horrible day on DAX, guys. I have a feeling we're still going to lose this, guys. Price just had too much bearish volume step into play here. Like, it just way too much. Antone, I text someone about that. So you should just wait a couple seconds and you should be good. Try again. Try again right now. Guys, horrible week for me on DAX. I mean, granted, this is only my... We haven't lost yet, but if we do lose here, this is my second loss of the week. Not the best looking week, but granted, I can't complain about my setups just because, again, like, just like yesterday, we waited for our quality setup. We got our quality setup. And even if we would have waited for a break of these highs, guys, we would have still entered this trade. Again, like, our first initial entry was a break of these highs here. Or was it these highs? Yeah, it was these highs. So even if we would have waited for this break of this high, we still ended up getting that, and we still would have been in drawdown. The difference is if we would have taken these highs, which I'm about to get taken out, guys. Yeah, I'm out of that trade. Even if we would have waited here, we would have got entered, but the difference is our stops would have been down here. So when it comes to this trade, I'm ultimately going to wait for price to play out fully and see. Hold on, let me make sure. I'm going to wait for price to play out fully and see if we would have had those stops sitting down here and waited for that entry up here, would we have still won this trade. It just depends. I really do think we will see some further sells. I mean, unless price just needed to facilitate a deeper pullback within here and then go higher, that definitely could be the case. But ultimately, I really did not like that reaction. Let's pay attention here, though. Not the best week. What was that NQ pump? I don't know. I hate DAX much for UK 100. Yeah, like DAX gives me some winners sometimes. I can't lie, but in this case, we just got absolutely fucking cooked here. We got cooked. I mean, it was a good, nice little push, and that really gave me some good confidence, but it looks like it just took some liquidity, and it could sell off deeper. And it could sell off deeper within this leg here. Filling this imbalance and then going higher, that could be the case, but ultimately I have to wait for price to play out through the entirety of London to even really see. Yeah, I mean, granted, I've only had 2 losses this week. It definitely, the entire month has definitely covered those losses and more. Like, even if, like I said, even if I lose the rest of this week and the rest of the month, I'll still be up very nicely for the month, just based off the wins that we had earlier in the month. But at the same time, I still don't like these losses, guys. Like, it's just very unfortunate because they're still quality trades. It's just, we'll see what happens though. We'll see if price, again, like one thing that could happen again on DAX is price just needs to come down deeper to facilitate a deeper pullback. But at the end of the day, we are still bullish within this 15-minute time frame, the hourly, the daily. And that's why, the bias did lean more towards buys. And even if we did lean towards sells, I wouldn't even be selling within this market just because of the way price action looked over here. All right, let's see if we get that touch and go. I like that seeing prices exhausted. What I need to see is I need to see a really good reaction, guys. I need to see a very good reaction. Still missed it. Truly, I'd like to see price blow through the equilibrium, because yes, as long as it touches the equilibrium and reacts off of it very nicely, I will enter. But the reason I'd rather have it blow through that equilibrium is solely just because we have some imbalance sitting right here. And I'd like to see price react off this order block instead. It would just be a little bit more optimal for us. No trades for me to see tomorrow. Oh yeah, we're going to get it back. Even if we don't take any more trades the rest of the week, which granted, we're just on Wednesday. So we have 2 trading days left. We have Thursday, we have Friday to make back on UK 100 and DAX. And ultimately, like what I'm going to be looking for today, since I didn't take UK 100 and DAX we lost, is just going to be some really good data, guys. Again, like even at the position I'm at, I'm always looking for more data to see, okay, if we could have done anything differently. Granted, there's nothing that I could have done differently on DAX because, again, we had our setup, we shot, we lost. That's just statistics. But as far as UK 100, that's really where I'm going to get a lot of data from, depending on how price moves. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is like the second time this has happened to us this week, guys. Second time where we just missed equilibrium and we're ripping. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely fucking horrid. I'm just really waiting to see what happens here on DAX. Like if we just ended up getting caught in some chop and price will end up ripping higher. Because again, if price does end up coming back higher, guys, like it still tells me that my overall bias was correct, that we were just early. And a lot of times, like you can't depict when you're going to be too early and when you're not. I don't trade VWAP. I don't really mess with VWAP. I hear good things about it, hear bad things, but at the end of the day, I like to keep my trading simple and clean. I just like following the general structure of price. Like if price is bullish, I wait for that pullback into a discounted price, and I'd look to continue higher. Just like here, again, we were bullish. Within this 15-minute, we completed a pullback. We started to kind of consolidate, but then we had that bullish breakout here, had a pullback, and then we had that next break, which again, that's enough confirmation for me to buy. But granted, it just didn't go our way. Wow, UK 100's ripping, guys. I hate when that shit happens. Like, obviously, like, it's good data for me for catching these trades in the future, but ultimately, like, it's always that situation where it's like the trades we don't take win, the trades we take sometimes lose, but again, that's trading. That's trading, and honestly, Nas is pissing me off, guys. This is the second time this week this has happened. Second fucking time. Where price will literally just miss equilibrium and then just take the fuck off. We would already hit TPs. Even if we just tapped that equilibrium barely, we would have been in this. I really do think we'll end up coming back up for DAX, guys. Wow. What a fucking chopped day, guys. This was a beautiful setup, guys. It's just I need to see that confirmation, guys. I need to follow my rules. UK 100 taking off. Yeah, I know. I can't say I wanted to enter. Or, like, I obviously wanted to enter, but I can't be mad that I didn't enter just because, again, like, it's just like anything. You never know what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, like, until I get enough data to really support me shooting into the abyss. And again, the reason I say it's the abyss is because we're at all-time highs, guys. And granted, it's an index, like, we are supposed to continue higher and higher. But at the end of the day, like, I prefer to catch trades where we already create that bullish leg, we have a pullback, and then we can target these highs because we know we have a target, because we know probability-wise price will come into those areas. Yeah, DAX is fucking ugly. If DAX comes back up higher, guys, I'm not going to re-enter. I usually don't re-enter, but it would just really tell me that, again, like, bias was correct, and again, I can't really control that. What's Goldie doing? Did end up shooting up. It was consolidating for a while here. I think we might see higher prices on gold, I can't lie. Kill DAX and my life is yours. Yeah, fuck DAX. But again, guys, like, UK 100, like, even if since price made a new high, like, we could end up playing like this equilibrium back up. But again, like, it goes the same thing as, like, even if we played this new structure back up, we do have a better target, like, obviously entering at the 50% because, like, we have these highs to target, but it's still, like, our main target, which is a 1 to 2, is just into nothingness. As far as NASDAQ, again, guys, like, I being that we didn't hit equilibrium here, this just expands our range. And I know when I expand my range, it looks like we hit equilibrium, but you have to remember that that happened on this initial leg. But since we didn't hit it, this just means our range is expanding. Therefore, I still need to see price come into equilibrium. But at this point, I think price is just going to run higher. It's been happening too much to us, guys. Way too much. Was there news today? No, clean day. Super clean day. Like, the 4-hour and DAX look beautiful. We had no imbalance. Nice little bottom wick to continue higher. Loki got to change it. On God, Nazi. But the thing with 0.5 is that is the first point of interest that I look for price to come into. It's the equilibrium. It's the equal point of that range. And that's really why I have that 0.5 there. DAX is still coming down. NASDAQ is still going up. Ugh, guys, these buys would have been beautiful. We just couldn't take them. Again, you guys could have taken them, but again, like I have to follow my structure. I'm not gonna go for sells. Like I don't even have like a real sell bias. Like we did end up coming down, and like the reason I don't want to sell on DAX is because like we're still bullish within this 15-minute time frame. Like we did end up breaking these highs. We did end up having a pullback, and yes, we just kind of been chopping within here. So that's why I wouldn't want to sell, just because if price did come down lower, we could just be coming down lower to fill the rest of this imbalance and then go higher. And at that point, I wouldn't want to get caught in another unnecessary loss. Hell yeah, nice little top wick. Like within the 5-minute structure or the 1-minute structure, like we do look good seeing like this internal price action or this internal bearish leg. Could have entered here to take sells back down to these lows, but that's just not my cup of tea. I don't really deal with the 1-minute on DAX. Guys, horrible. I mean, it's not a bad day. It's not a bad day just because, again, like we did see NAS do what we wanted it to do. It just didn't give us entry, which is like, DAX, again, fucked us over, but we'll see what happens later on tonight. Again, like I'm only going to get my data just based off what happens later on. Does the higher time frame bias play out? Does it not? Based off that, then that's really where I get my data. You know, was I just too early in the entry? But like I always say, on TP2 MNQ fire. Again, like you guys could have definitely entered this. We did end up ripping higher here, but it's just based off how I trade, guys. It's just I needed to see that tap. We didn't see it. We just didn't. We just missed it. And this is the second time it happened to us. So again, like even with this is really good data. Like granted, again, I'm not going to go and just switch up my system going into tomorrow or next week or whatever that may be. But seeing this happen twice in a week where we just miss our entry point and seeing price take off where we would have won if price just hit that area. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, like it's ultimately really good data, even though nothing's going to be changed, because truly, like I need to see these areas being hit before I even look to enter. It's a must for me, and it'll always be a must. Same thing with DAX and UK 100. Like I need to see those areas hit. But I'm really curious to see if UK 100 ends up winning. This will determine if it's a win if it hits 101. Our range just expands here, guys. So I guess if price did pull back, we still saw a nice reaction. We could end up buying here. But again, like same thing is like it would be more optimal to see price react off 71% because it's now aligned with this really nice order block. We have some imbalance above it. That would be optimal. But NAS still may have a chance, guys. So I'm going to stick around just for a little bit longer just to see. If we end up just ripping higher here, then I'm probably just going to call it a day. And again, like I'm just ultimately going to use today as data. Even though yesterday was no trade day, definitely a day of data. I mean, I didn't really get data from yesterday just because, again, like price did exactly what I expected it to do. And that was do the opposite of what price was initially doing at London. Just because, again, like the bias overall from a higher time frame standpoint was bullish. And that's where I really do expect DAX to come higher. Like I do think we will end up coming higher if it's not right now. I do think, if anything, we will facilitate a deeper pullback within this 15-minute leg here, maybe fill this imbalance, hit off this order block, and then go into our desired targets. But even then, like, it's just no re-entry, guys. You guys can, I'm not. But again, the reason I'd stay bullish on NAS is, again, like, we have these targets here on the 5-minute. But this is horrible looking on the hourly. If we just fucking react out that fair value gap. That's just ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. If price on DAX did shoot up from here, guys, again, like, our initial entry was this high and our stops were at these lows. Like, I could give it a second shot if price did end up coming back up, especially on the hourly, and we did end up closing pretty bullish within this area, just because, again, like, I do expect price to go higher within this bullish structure and within this daily structure. But we've just been struggling here at these highs. We've been struggling heavily. But that's if price came back up and broke this high, just because, again, like, our original entry was stops at this low, so we'd still be in. But again, like, we still had to set up for a lower time frame down here. I don't even think I want to take NASDAQ, guys, just because of how the hourly looks too. Like, we could just end up fucking tanking after reacting off this fucking fair value gap, especially being that price has just been within this consolidation. It could just be another back and forth game here. I want to stay out of that. M&Q went to equilibrium. It's not an equilibrium. It's like an equilibrium of this new leg. But the reason I wouldn't consider this a new leg, and this is just me, is because we never had that pullback. And since we never had that pullback of this original leg here, this new expansion isn't a new high for me. This new expansion isn't a new high for me. If we would have reacted off the equilibrium and hit the equilibrium, then 100% it would be. But I don't consider it a new high, just because since we didn't pull back, this just expands the range for me. And this is my new equilibrium of this entire bullish leg. $30-minute no-wick DAX. Yeah, always make sure you're managing risk, guys. Like, you guys got to remember, like, we had a really good month, so even with this loss, I'm not losing much. Like, I risk my full risk on every trade, but again, like, we had a really good month, so even then, like, we're still going to end profitable, or I am at least. And if you've been here the entire month taking every trade with me, but let's say if I did over risk on this trade, that would have been stupid to me, because even though it looked good, at the end of the day, price isn't promised or guaranteed to win. That's why it's very important to make sure you have really good risk. Risk a certain percentage of your account every single trade. Don't switch it up. Don't switch it up. Just got my legacy on. It just depends, Michael. Like, it really depends. Like, the reason I have this marked up is because this was our initial position. Like, this was our initial entry, but we did end up moving it down based off the fact that we did end up breaking these highs on the 5-minute. Even though we barely broke them, we still broke them. We did have a nice reaction off the equilibrium and rebroke highs. But if we did just come up from where we're at and we ended the hourly very bullish, then I would consider re-entering. But if we're just going to continue lower, then I'm definitely not going to re-enter. Like, if we continue down past these lows right here, I'm probably just going to let price do its thing. But if we just kind of shot up from here, great. But we're just kind of consolidating now, guys. It's just kind of looking ugly. Just got my legacy. I don't see how to get the charts from this page. Can you help me in the chart? So go to downloads. So where you click trading resources, press downloads. And then at the bottom, it'll say DX Trades, like web browser. Click that, and then you use your metrics or your credentials to log in. So it'd be your email and then your account password. Yeah, Lexi, I'm not liking DAX either. Like, I already took the L there, but even like when it comes to re-entry, like, we're just really choppy now. Like, we're not really picking a direction. We did initially have that bullish like impulse. We had that bearish impulse, but we didn't even really continue down. We were just now kind of chopping around, and that could just be a signal for a no, or not even a no trade day, just no more trades for the day. It's just kind of going to continue choppy. Obviously, at some point, it is going to break out. It is either going to break out higher, it's going to break out lower. I do think we will end up breaking out higher just because of the higher time frame bias. But again, like, we ultimately will see. But if we had this initial position, we'd still be in. That's where I'm like debating. Like, this is where it's definitely going to get data from. Like, if we just rip from here and end up winning, not winning, but like if we do end up hitting our TPs, it'll just tell me like where my entry was. Should have been a little bit adjusted. Even though we had that entry on the 5-minute, it should still have stuck to that 50. Even though I don't really enter on the 15-minute, it just looked a little bit cleaner as far as waiting for it to break these highs. This was our last high within this bullish structure. Therefore, we could have waited for that 100%. UK 100 is kind of chopping around here. I do think we could see a pullback first and then a continuation. Market's been choppy this week. They've been okay. Like, yesterday was chopped. The day before that, like, we did end up taking a loss on DAX. And again, like, that's very key information, is like, how many losses are we taking on DAX? How many losses are we taking on UK 100? And then that data is ultimately going to tell me, okay, like, do I stick to one market? Granted, I don't think I'll ever stick to one market because we do have a really good trades on DAX. Because the week before this, I think we had 2 wins on DAX. It'll always show that for you. It'll always show that for you. When you pass your account, it's always going to say demo. But that doesn't mean it, you know, like, if you pass your account, like, you're still able to get withdrawals and stuff like that. So don't trip out about that. It's not actually like, you know. Does that for everyone. This 5 minutes ugly. Nah, this is ugly too, guys. Like, buys would still be good other than this hourly reaction, guys. I think I might call it a day. But let's go over what I'm going to look for. So again, what am I looking for? I'm looking to see if UK 100 does end up winning. Again, I did not enter this, but I do want to get a lot of data from this. If it does end up winning, does end up coming to 101, then that tells me I could have taken this and I could have at least profited a little bit. And obviously we're going to see if it goes into 1 and 2 as well. Or is it just going to come back? It could come back, facilitate a pullback now that we created that new high. I still don't think I'm going to enter even if it facilitates a pullback and go higher. And like in a lot of cases, I will still enter those trades where if we do see a nice bullish expansion, a pullback, I will enter on those pullbacks to continue higher. But again, the biggest thing today, guys, was we are all-time highs. And I'm just not a big fan of targeting all-time highs, even though we know price does have room to go higher at any point. It's just not my cup of tea. Obviously, until I get enough data to kind of support doing that. But as of right now, one, we typically don't really come into contact a lot with all-time highs. Like we have been pretty much edging all-time highs for a while now, but we're still have good structure to play off of, meaning like we will see that bullish expansion, we'll wait, we'll play that pullback, and if we do play that continuation, we know that we can target these highs of that previous bullish impulse. But we also know that as price is now coming higher, nothing's promised. Obviously, that also means that price can hit that 101, can hit 102, because price can do what it wants to do. It's going to have its own objectives. If it wants to go higher, it's going to go higher. As far as DAX, what am I going to mainly look for? I'm going to mainly look to see what happens. Is price going to, one, continue to consolidate? Is it going to come down and take, a little bit lower to, or a little bit longer to then come higher? I do think we will end up continuing higher at some point. It's just a matter of when. Could be later today, could be tomorrow, but the higher time frame bias is showing very strong for buys. So that's where, again, like the data coming off of this is going to see, does that bias continue to play out and we were just early on entry or not? As far as NQ, I'm going to stay away from NQ. And the reason I'm going to stay away from NQ is because, again, we had a potential setup. We just didn't have the correct entry confirmation. I don't like that. And then now that we're seeing higher time frame, one thing I don't like as well is the fact that we're starting to react off of this fair value gap. That's not the best conditions. If this fair value gap wasn't here, I definitely would still be looking for buys, but ultimately that fair value gap is there. Okay, and that's really where it's kind of pushed me away from even looking for entry. So you guys have an idea of what I'm going to be looking for. If I do end up re-entering DAX, guys, and that's a maybe, I would need to see the hour end bullish. Like if we just end within like a nasty wick candle or what is it? Indecision candle, sorry, then I'm not going to re-enter. We would need to see price push up within the next 15 minutes and show that we are very much bullish and we just came down to take liquidity. Then I would enter, and the stops would be below these lows. TP would ultimately be 1 to 2, which is these highs. And the reason it's these highs is because, again, we are bullish. So I do think we do have room to come up into these highs and continue within that bullish trend. But again, if I do end up entering, I will let you guys know in my Discord. I do have a new channel in my Discord with trade ideas. So if I do end up entering, I'll let you guys know. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:45 p.m. PST. Again, if I do end up entering, it'll just basically make up profits or loss from today and add a little bit of profits. As far as UK 100, we'll see what happens here. But I'm out of here, guys. Not a good day, but we live to see another. And that's a very important thing. Again, if you guys over-risked, prime example of why you don't over-risk. I didn't over-risk today because, again, nothing's promised in trading. At the same time, I come in here looking for a win, but I always expect to lose. It's just a mindset I have because it makes sure I don't over-risk. I don't do anything stupid because, again, sometimes it's the best looking trades that end up losing. It is what it is. But with that being said, guys, still not a bad day. I still had a good day with you guys. I appreciate you guys joining up. And again, if you guys want an instant funded account, we are coming out instant funded account. So you guys can always DM me on Instagram or Discord about instant funding accounts, just so you guys don't have to go through the evaluation phase and all that. And yeah, so you guys can also DM me because we have a super special deal going on right now as far as buy one, get one 30% off. So you guys can DM me a little bit more information on that. Super good deal. It's not going to be out much longer. So honestly, you should take advantage of it now. Are you putting in the right password? Make sure you're putting in the right password. But again, guys, like I said, if I do end up entering, I will put it into my Discord, and you guys will see that there. But it needs to really happen within the next 15 minutes. But I'm out of here, guys. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's have a good day tomorrow. Let's have a winning day tomorrow. Let's kill it. Later, YouTube.